system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history. In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing. The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We'd get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, Gemini has been making a nice little marketing campaign for XRP recently, as XRP has been officially listed on their exchange. And what's so interesting to me is what happened yesterday. You see, XRP briefly hit $50 on Gemini as users suspect a relisting price glitch. But in reality, what occurred is that someone bought 60 cents worth of XRP at a $50 rate. And that's so sad for whoever did purchase that. But that is what explains this brief glitch on Gemini. It is a big fat nothing burger, but at the end of the day, what I want all of you to be aware of is that we're heading into a point where more liquidity for our favorite digital asset on the planet is going to be given. And that's extremely important for our future success in the next bull run. Now guys, before I continue, I have to say that in my last video yesterday, I stated that I would be posting episode 2 of the Aggressively Average podcast, which is an extremely powerful XRP video I've been working on for quite a long time. But before I could post that, I had to come out with this video because there are a number of things I wanted to discuss briefly before I put it out. First and foremost, Raoul Pal is giving Crypto Lark an important lesson in XRP and why this decision that was made by Judge Torres was oh so important. And it's going to give some great context to what was just discussed yesterday.
Some very interesting news out of the USA that XRP has been deemed not a security. So just what's your hot take on this situation?
I mean, we thought the good news coming was going to be the ETF. We knew this was in the background. I always had a decent probability that this was going to happen, but it dropped like a bomb today, and XRP's up 75% in a day. But what it does is say it shows that the regulators are overreaching. Now, we don't have that around elsewhere in the world because most of the regulators elsewhere have been reasonably decent about crypto, but the US was the one that weren't. Gensler was really attacking the space. So what that's done is unleashed so many of the larger alt tokens that launched in similar ways to XRP that should not be deemed as security. And that's going to make the space more investable. At the margin, it allows others to enter into the space. We saw XRP get relisted by Coinbase immediately. Okay, that's a big statement. It means that institutions will be more comfortable around it. That allows more people into the space. So people who might have been nervous of Solana or some of the others may look at this now and say, look, the probability of those being called a security is now becoming much smaller by the day, and therefore the risk profile of owning these things is much lower.
Now, in regards to why I played that, it's specifically to discuss the statement that Raoul Pal stated regarding the blatantly obvious situation we're all in. We see right here, right now, that regulators are overreaching. And we have the SEC now appealing this Ripple lawsuit decision. Here yesterday, in an episode of Troomers, Jeremy Hogan was discussing XRP, this decision, the appeal, and what's going to happen next. He specifically stated XRP is a digital asset commodity because the trial judge said so. And this is the only digital asset that he's aware of that has clarity moving forward. And that's what you all need to know. We have the clarity moving forward, regardless of what happens on appeal. And the only thing this appeal is looking to do is to affect Ripple, not XRP, the digital asset.
Digital asset commodity, because the trial judge said so. Now it's in dicta, but she said so. She made a very good order. So this is the only digital asset that I'm aware of that has that clarity moving forward. All right, period, done. Now, moving forward into appeal, if Ripple were to lose on the programmatic sales and individual sales, and I'm not saying they will, but if they do, the only effect that has is as to Ripple. So it only affects whether Ripple could sell XRP in certain ways moving forward. So, I've seen a lot of confusion in that. And that, I think, is what the bottom line is. The problem you would have if Ripple lost on appeal is that the exchanges would have to be able to distinguish, XRP that's sourced from a market maker or something versus XRP that's sourced directly from Ripple. And if they can do that, it's not a big deal for them. And so you're not going to see any delistings of XRP, but that really the appeal will only affect Ripple, and it doesn't affect XRP, the digital asset.
Hogan, I love when you talk dirty. All right.
And I think I could say I agree with Mr. I, because I love it when Jeremy Hogan talks dirty too. All that being said, though, we have some powerful updates regarding Bitcoin. Here from Alex Kruger. He stated last night, heads up, Bitcoin ETF news is coming tomorrow, and a delay is almost a certainty and likely fully priced in. If by any chance the SEC approves or rejects the ARK ETF, prices will run and not look back. And here, the SEC has officially delayed Cathie Wood's ARK Invest Spot Bitcoin ETF application a day. And what I need to stress to all of you is, that's absolutely fine. It's actually been expected. And something else is, I believe this Bitcoin ETF narrative, while being one of the most important things in regards to the adoption of crypto and adoption of Bitcoin moving forward, it's one of those things that I think is a big narrative distraction at the moment. It is news that is meant to be posted in mainstream crypto media outlets in order for us to get manipulated by the big boys. I think you all know and understand this by now. And I think you all know we're 100 steps ahead. Keep your eyes on the prize, my friends, and don't get dissuaded. We're in a perfect position. And what's so ironic is that just the other day, as PayPal comes up with their own stablecoin, banking regulators are now issuing a warning to warn banks that they should stop doing business with PayPal. Oh, they really don't want this crypto revolution to come into play. The bankers are shook to their core, and we're the ones doing it. Now, something else I want to bring up from yesterday's episode of Troomers is the Bretton Woods 1.0, 2.0, and now 3.0 scenario. A brief history lesson to remind all of you of the moment in history we're in. Some of you forget why we're here, and you have to know that this is bigger than crypto. XRP is a financial revolution that's going to take over the entire planet and solve massive geopolitical issues.
Rapidly approaching Bretton Woods 3. Bretton Woods 1 is when the dollar was anointed the world reserve currency at the end of World War II in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, taking over for the pound sterling. Loosely, Bretton Woods 2 would have been when Nixon closed the gold window and when we struck a deal with the Saudi kingdom, Kissinger did, saying that we will protect you, and for that, you will denominate oil globally in dollars, you and OPEC. That was Bretton Woods 2, and that system is breaking, entering Bretton Woods 3, a system that he calls one that is backed by transparency and commodities. things that are immutable and verified. And much of what he is saying is exactly what you are saying is the perfect currency. And I couldn't agree with you more on all of this. And I think we are rapidly moving in that direction. The Bank of International Settlements, the group that reclassified gold as the world's only other tier one reserve asset in 2019, also said that every country on the planet must have a operational CBDC by 2025. This is where we are going. And I think that, you know, to ignore that and to not prepare for what it really means will be to your own detriment. And so, yeah, this is a time of change, and we are right at the footsteps of it right now.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I 100% agree with that sentiment. The next Bretton Woods is at our doorstep. And this is going to be a currency and financial revolution that's coming out of the other side of a crisis we've all been anticipating. See, one day, the whole world is going to realize the XRP army has been on the money with everything. Under every single financial rock you look under, Ripple has been helping the government, helping regulatory bodies, helping international bodies work on the next generation financial system. And there's no coincidences that XRP got deemed to be a non-security now when it did. What you see on the screen are just a couple of the developments that have been breaking the last couple months. And here, Alex Cobb posted an amazing thread reminding all of us why we hold XRP. These are but a few of the bank partnerships that we have around the world. And this is nothing more than a gentle reminder to never fear, never get fudded, and to hold strong. Ladies and gentlemen, while Bitcoin will be around, I believe XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin into the future and beyond, and it's not even going to be close. And to cap off this video for today, I'm going to give you a great debate about XRP versus Bitcoin and telling you all why we believe Bitcoin will not be number one for much longer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
I would often discuss my country's failing currency first and then compare it to XRP rather than shooting for the moon and say BTC versus XRP. Because for me personally, you're trying to make money in this situation, right? It's not an intellectual debate about who's right. The rightness of your argument will be borne out in the success of your portfolio in the next 20 years. So the question is, from here, not yesterday, but from here today, where is XRP versus BTC going? In my opinion, XRP will outperform BTC. And I also want to point out something else. The bond yields on bonds like in Pakistan, for example. So I compare it like this. As an American, I think of it like XRP will outperform BTC, and XRP and BTC combined in a portfolio would very likely outperform a bond portfolio. I mean, an interest-free or risk-free premium portfolio. So the risk premium on bonds of United States Treasuries is very low. It's basically free, right? And theoretically, it's the safest investment in the world. Theoretically correct, right? The yield on that might only be 5% over the next 20 years, correct? So I think that XRP and BTC will massively outperform that. And so when you come into the space, Satoshi, the question for you as a Pakistani, because you don't have access to US Treasuries, do you? I do. I have a Fidelity account. I can buy US Treasuries through an ETF, right? It's not a problem for me. I lose a little bit of money from commissions, but at the end, like, I can do that. You can't, right?
Jimmy, I have one question. You're seeing about
So
CBDC.
I asked that you compare this investment versus Pakistani bonds and tell me which one's a better investment.
Yeah. Just a minute. I have one question. Can you please answer that?
So are you going to answer
you
my
were
question or are
speaking
you
about-
not going to answer my question?
Yeah, I will answer. Yeah. Can you repeat your
What can you answer right now?
Yeah, I'm asking, like you were saying about CBDCs, right? So do
Can you
you
answer
think
my
we
question right now?
Can you just repeat it to him, Jimmy?
Why don't you tell us, in your view, Pakistani bond yields versus XRP, which one will outperform?
Yeah, definitely XRP.